about midweek, last week, I accompanied my sister, along with our dad, to Arizona. My sister had like a work thing, and I was working on like some finals, for class still because I was still doing my finals. But we were in Arizona. So, I had made the decision to go with her to Arizona maybe like about 2 weeks prior to actually going. And I already had in my mind the idea that I wanted to find a rattle. But for some reason, I didn't feel called to buy one on Amazon whatsoever, or to like look for one in any like local stores. I just didn't. Which is like really weird. Well, not, I guess it's not weird, but I'm very different when it comes to books. Like when it comes to books, I like to get book obsessed, and I just want to buy all the books and I want to get my hands on them as soon as possible, and I want to have them all. But when it comes to magical items or spiritual objects, I like it to be a lot more, what's the proper phrase for this? I like to think that the items are finding me because they want to work with me. Yeah, that's what it is. So I had this idea that I was going to go to Arizona and I was going to find a rattle there. And I did. So I am going to show you that amongst a couple other little things that I got while I was out in Arizona. So I ended up getting 2. Now, these, in my opinion, these were ridiculously cheap. I got 2, and it's obvious that one is much bigger than the other. I did that on purpose because I wanted it to have a slightly different sound. So this one has, well, I'll just like do a little demo. So I wanted to have 2 different sounds. I've been wanting to get my hands on something like this for a while. The funny thing is, though, that these were not called rattles. I got them from a store that sold tons of like Mexican goodies, I guess you could say. And these are maracas, but they're rattles to me, and they were $2 each. So I got, and they had like some of them painted and stuff, but I feel like they look so pretty, just like unpainted. But that's just my personal opinion, obviously. The second item I got was this really pretty shawl. And it's pretty long. So this is what it looks like. And then this is the edges. But yeah, I thought it was so pretty. And this was like, they had like really colorful ones, but this one was the one for me. Like I just felt it. And this was only like $10, which was pretty inexpensive considering we were at like a touristy type of store when I got this. Or actually when my dad sponsored this. He actually purchased everything for me. Well, my sister purchased the rattles for me, and then my dad wanted to get everybody something from Arizona, so he told me to pick some things out. I got this, and then what I'm about to show you next. And that that shawl, I mean, it's really pretty to wear. I don't really wear shawls ever. I don't really cover my head. But I thought it would be a beautiful altar cloth eventually. I change a lot between what I like to be an altar cloth. Like right now, this altar behind me up here that I've shared with you guys has no cloth on it. But this one does, and maybe you could see it right there. It's like this really shiny green costume-like material, and that's just representing of like the energies that I'm working with at the moment. but I really liked that because I like the idea of, I don't do this all the time. I like the idea of being able to have a cloth that I work on and do magics on. And then when I'm going to, let's just say I'm done with that phase of magic or that type of magic for a time, that cloth now carries to me all of the energies of what I was putting into that working area. The next and last thing that I got is actually in this little bag. It did not come in this little bag. This little bag came with something totally different from something else. I don't remember. But in one of these stores, I think it was the same store that I got the shawl in, they had a little pouch, kind of a little bit smaller than this, and like this area filled with crystals and different type of stones, and you could fill the little bag, and it was like $7 for as much as you could fit into the little bag. So I just started browsing to see like if there was anything that piqued my interest, but I was able to pick out a couple of really, really nice crystals and a few that I had on my list of crystals that I had been wanting for a while, but I didn't want to purchase from just anywhere either. So I'm going to show you the crystals, and then I'm going to show you only, I'm just going to start. So I had this, okay, so this amethyst piece, like, look how big this is. So I was able to stuff that in the bag, but this is on my altar. But in that little pouch, this is actually a pouch I was charging with a very specific type of energy. So that's why it's separate from that. So the first stone that's in that pouch is this very pretty carnelian tumbled stone. They're all tumbled. And then a second carnelian. I was really gravitating towards the carnelian. So, and they're pretty, like, they're a pretty good size. Like, they're not like little tiny baby pebbles. And then, last but not least, oh, no, there's another, okay, there's another one. Let me show you. Oh my gosh, this is messy. So I think I had mentioned in another video that this Dalmatian jasper is like the only Dalmatian jasper I own. And I actually found one in that pile of crystals and it just had to come with me. So the amethyst is on my main altar. The Dalmatian jasper is in my charging altar, and it's in the bowl where I charge all of my jewelry, because I wanted to keep these together, so when I'm not wearing this, it's in my charging bowl, so that's why. But okay, now I'm gonna okay, this is just all over the place. Obviously this is not scripted, right? Imagine if it was. Okay, so I do love Tiger's Eye. It was probably, I think that's one of the ones that almost everybody hears about and knows about because it's pretty common. But I had started really trying to learn the correspondences of crystals, and I have a couple of books that I purchased along the way. And one of them has like, well, most of them have some type of a like encyclopedia feature where they go alphabetically through different names of different crystals, show you a name, tell you what chakras this is, tell you what chakras it's associated with, color correspondences, different ways that you could use them, what are they for, you know, whatever, the works. And I got interested in Tiger's Eye, so I flipped to the Tiger's Eye, and then right next to the Tiger's Eye, on the other page or something like that, it had different variations of tiger's eye, and I didn't know that that existed. And it had red and blue tiger's eye, which I had not seen before until I ran into them during my little trip. So this is the red tiger's eye. Oh, she's so pretty. And then this is the blue tiger's eye. And it's really hard to catch the blue on it, but oh, so beautiful. And then just for comparison, this is the OG tiger's eye, I guess. Oh, yeah, the OG tiger's eye. So the OG tiger's eye, the red tiger's eye. Excuse my crusty ass nails. And then the blue tiger's eye. So I felt like I completed a collection when I got the red and the blue. So I was really happy with that. And then when I got home, I was thinking about ways that I wanted to use them. I already knew that the amethyst was going to go on my main working altar and that the Dalmatian was going to go with the Dalmatian. But I wanted to use the carnelian, and I see the carnelian as just lion's courage energy. And the same with tiger's eye. I see it as a burst to move forward without any fear. And I love that energy. It's something that I like to carry with me all the time. And then the other two tiger's eye, the red one is pretty similar, you know, just keeping in mind the red dealing with the root chakra, which has a lot to do with those same energies, at least I feel. And then the blue tiger's eye is more of like a throat chakra / communication color correspondence. So I wanted to bundle them together so that my communication and the way that I walk about is always with courage. And that's really important for me. You know, I really like the saying of say your truth even if your voice shakes. I just don't want my voice to shake. So, yeah, just a little vulnerable moment. Gosh, that almost sounded like Steve Urkel. Oh, that's funny. Okay, but this has just become a rambly ass mess of a video. But I showed you all the crystals that I got from that trip to Arizona. And then the ones that are in this bundle, which include the trio of tiger's eye. The small one had actually been given to me by my sister, but all the other stones I got in Arizona. And then I cleansed them and I put them in a pouch. And the way that I charge these is not a way that I've charged any crystal before. Usually I'm wary of trying to get other people's energy on my stuff in general, but I feel that that was also coming from a place of fear, and she is not that. So I took advantage that we actually went to an amusement park on Saturday, and I think I have a small clip of the coaster that I did this on. But anyways, the name of the coaster is Hang Time. And the way that it's set up is once it takes off, it goes straight and then it goes right into a 90-degree angle straight up. And then once it gets to the top, it like has you waiting here for like a few seconds and then it drops and then it does all this stuff, you know? I love roller coasters. I don't have a problem with roller coasters at all, but I thought would be a great time to charge these with the energy of strength and courage and just being able to communicate your strength and courage. So I had these in my pocket when we went, and on that coaster, as we're hanging right before we drop, I'm just really building up to charge these crystals and stones with everybody's like energy and screaming and just letting it all out there and acting and participating despite maybe being a bit fearful of what's to come. So that's the way that I charged these. And I feel like that was a very effective way for me to do it with what I am starting to do in my life, in general. So yeah, I thought, I would share that. And before this video becomes another one of my mini books in the encyclopedia of Jazmine's YouTube, we are going to stop talking, and I will see you guys in the next video.